Hey guys, it's Nikki with FM99. I am here with Tom Maxwell of Hell Yeah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you.
You too.
How's
I could barely see. I have to put my readers on.
Oh. Do you want me to sit? I can sit closer if you need me to.
No, it's
Nobody
all
wants
good.
that.
It's all good.
How are things? How's life?
It's going good. Just quarantined here, and you know, dying to get out and start doing something.
Yeah. Where are you quarantined right now?
I live in Maryland, like outside of Baltimore and Annapolis.
Oh, okay. I love that area.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So you're just stuck there, living life, waiting to get out and
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of writing and stuff. It's one thing. I've pretty much written about 2 albums worth of music if I could get in a studio.
I love that.
But I am actually doing some recording with some friends and stuff, just to get out and make some noise. It's I'm getting a little stir crazy. There's only so many times I can just venture around the neighborhood. I need some different scenery. Can you
Yeah.
hear me okay?
Yeah, I lost you for a second. I don't know if you lost me or I lost you, but internet.
Here, let me just check something right here. I think my Wi-Fi is just. Can you hear me okay now?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
You got me?
I do.
Okay, good. All right. Um, so you guys were supposed to be here for Lunatic Luau in May.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Virginia Beach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I vacation there sometimes. Like every other year, we'll come down to Virginia Beach, and my my father-in-law, his sister owns a house right off the beach.
Okay.
And so we go there, and I love it. I love it down there. But yeah, we were supposed to play that festival, man. Unfortunately, everything just hit the fan.
Yeah, the world
But
stopped.
everything, and then we went into complete anarchy and insurrection all over the
Yeah,
country.
I know. I know. Isn't that true? So you guys were on tour when this all went down, right?
No, we were getting ready to. We were getting
Okay.
we were about maybe a month away from just going into rehearsals and then hitting the road, and everything was lined up. People were buying tickets, and people were still buying tickets after everything shut down. Not because nobody released any info on what was going to happen. Nobody knew anything.
Yeah, I mean, how could we?
Yeah, right. So uh, that the whole tour got postponed. There's nothing's been obviously rescheduled because nobody knows anything. Reading some of the reports and hearing stuff that some of these top touring execs are talking about, they're saying that it's a good chance that nobody's going to be doing like real normality type of touring. Probably won't happen until the end of next year, maybe 22.
I can't.
So that's for a lot of bands, especially new bands that are just releasing like their first records or just coming up. It could be a matter of life or death.
Right. Yeah,
For them.
absolutely. Yeah.
Established bands are always going to have their fan base, of course, and they'll wait around for them. But it's the new generation of artists that are coming up that are, especially artists that have to tour.
Right.
There's a lot of artists out there that are, part of the Hot 100 whole scene and just can release videos and play 1 or 2 shows every other month. But that's they're here today, gone tomorrow type of thing. And a lot of the new bands that are want to be career bands, they're going to have a rough road ahead of them, man. It's really sad to see.
It is. And it's interesting that a couple bands who we were supposed to have albums come out this year have decided to hold off because they said that it feels weird not being able to complete the circle.
Yeah, it's like you work so hard to make a record, and you got all that excitement surrounding it,
Yeah.
and then it leads up to your release day, and then the release day comes, but then you can't go out there and celebrate it with your
Right.
fans or do anything. So, it makes perfect sense to just hold off on stuff.
Yeah.
People don't, music, that's the thing about music. It's, nobody's going to know if a song was written, a month prior to the album coming out or a year prior to it coming
Yeah.
out. So
And it
as
doesn't
long
matter.
as
It's,
right,
yeah.
right. So,
Yeah.
but I feel for everybody, man. It's rough, man. I'm seeing a lot of just frustration out there.
Yeah.
A lot
We're
of people.
frustrated too.
Yeah, I'm sure. Everybody's having to do remote stuff and do their radio shows from home, or you know, there's been talks of doing some live stream kind of concerts, which we're talking about.
Okay.
And so that's a possibility in the near future for us. But we're just kind of in the infant stages of talking about that now. And I mean, I think it could be cool. I think it could be like a global thing where you live stream it, and it is, live maybe in America, North America, but then it's, shown at a different time in Australia because, they're 17 hours ahead,
Right.
and so you have to do a lot of weird coordination. Or it could be something where we go in and film it and record it and edit it and make it like, I mean, it'll be live, we'll be playing live,
Yeah.
but it just won't be like, at that second, like, type of thing. I don't know. There's all kinds of different variables, that we can, look into to see what would work. Because
what are your feelings on drive up shows?
I don't know how insurance companies are going to insure a concert with people drinking in cars.
That is a very fair point.
I mean, you don't know what they're going to have. I mean, you're going to have a checkpoint there. You're going to have people, searching cars for contraband and
Right.
and things like that. So, I mean, I think that's going to be a pretty challenging thing for the insurance purposes alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially,
Although, I mean, people who are going to shows, they drove there.
yeah, but they're not sitting in the car. Then you're talking about insurance for car insurance people and all that other stuff, and who's going to be liable if something were to happen. Well, you let me drink in your park in my car. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it could be, it could be messy.
It could. That's true. And I was talking to somebody else the other day. It's really hard to mosh in your car.
Yeah, it wouldn't work for a band like us, man. Our type of music and our shows are pretty energetic, and people kind of jumpstart right away. And I mean, I could see it working for maybe blues or something where everybody's just chilling.
Chill, yeah.
Something like that, and not take it away from blues. I love blues, but like a more cerebral crowd.
That's absolutely fair. Yeah.
Right.
I don't disagree with you.
Right.
So you mentioned your sound. So, you guys, 12 years, right? Around that.
Yeah, 06 is when we started. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So your sound has changed. I mean, from, Alcohol and Ass to today.
Mm-hmm.
What do you attribute to that? It's a swing.
A lot of it had to do with the fact that that's not kind of where I come from. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I give it a hall pass in the beginning because we were new, and it was very just having a great time with each other. We were just learning each other. We were in Texas, so we had that kind of environment, and we were many bottles deep, into recording and having fun. But at that time, we didn't know, what the band was going to become or what we were going to do. And, for me, I grew up in Baltimore, and the type of music I was playing was very aggressive and just mean, I go into a gunfight with a razor blade, that's kind of like how my music was. And
Right.
so I couldn't really, I didn't, even though I enjoyed playing songs like Alcohol and Ass and Hell of a Time and
Yeah.
all those, you know, good old boy type of stuff, it wasn't something that really defined who I was, you
Yep.
know? And so, like, when we went through that big change with the personnel, when we got Brady in to play guitar and we got Kyle in to play bass, you know, it was kind of all eyes on me on what I wanted to do musically. You know what I mean? It was just on the musical end of it. And I just said, you know, let's just get into the studio and like just see what happens. And, you know, that's when, you know, from Blood for Blood all the way up to the last record, that's kind of like, you know, it's been that way. You know, nothing premeditated or contrived. It was just, you know, honest and transparent. There was no theme to it. It was just, let's just go make music. I mean, we were doing songs. Now I think we're way more dynamic than we ever were on the first records. I mean, I think, you know, we're doing records now where we have songs like, you know, X or Blood for Blood, for example, but in the next breath, we're doing songs like Love Falls and Hush and
Yeah.
and Moth. You know, those are miles apart as far as intensity wise, but it's it's uh, it's hills and valleys for me. It's like that's how I like to write songs. I like to take people on a journey musically, not write records for one or two songs and the rest of them be, you know, filler or whatever you want to call it. You know, to me, I was always a big fan of records, you know, listening to them from front to back and like not having any throwaway tracks, you know, not
Right.
song. And so, you know, having those dynamics allows you to do that. And when you do it and you do it early enough or just consistently, you know, your fans aren't going to be surprised at when you pull something crazy out of your hat, you know?
Right.
Right.
Agreed. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We've got a Facebook question. Do you need to
Mhm.
hear music to come up with a lyrical concept, or has a lyrical concept in your mind ever determined the music?
I think, I mean, both ways actually, but more so the way Chad writes his lyrics, he has to have the foundation in front of him. You know, that's what inspires him. I mean, he's always writing. He always would have ideas. He'll be jotting down little quotes or little things or little sayings, and it could be a sentence, you know, one sentence that he might not ever use in a song, but that sentence will inspire the entire content of a
Yeah.
song. But that's how it pretty much works for us. You know, it's usually, you know, all of us sitting in a room, writing the songs, arranging them, or just doing it on the spot in the studio. Like the song "Welcome Home," for example. You know, I walked into the studio with just that one riff, the opening guitar riff, and I sat down with Kevin, and we just built it from there. That's how that whole song was written. It was like it wasn't even in a band context. It was just in a studio environment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of goes all kinds of different ways, but 90% of the time it's music first and then the vocals. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So obviously, when you guys were, you know, working on the Welcome Home album,
Mm-hmm.
with the loss of Vinnie Paul,
Mm-hmm.
you guys, you know, decided to finish the album anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hate to say what was that like, but kind of, you know, like what was that like? You know,
Kind of walk through it a little bit.
yeah,
Uh, well, we had just finished up a session in the studio. We would kind of go for 2 weeks at a time and then break, then reconvene, and then break, reconvene. And we had just finished up all the drums. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
all the drum tracks were front to back finished. I mean, there was like, I had scratch guitar on there, just kind of guides for
yeah,
him. You know what I mean? And then I came home with such a high because I was like, yeah, you know, now I can really start getting to work now. You know, the drums are done. Now I can start decorating that tree. And then I got that phone call, and we all got the phone call, and we fucking, you know, were gutted completely and did the funeral. And we made a promise to ourselves that we had to finish this record. You know, I mean, it was his final final art, that
Yeah.
he's done. That was it. That was the end of it. And we were never the type of band that we would record like 20 some songs for a record. We always kind of wrote as many as we needed. There might have been like one or two on the burner that didn't quite meet the vibe of the album, so we would
Yeah.
burn it. Not that they were bad songs, but like I said, that our albums have to have like a certain vibe about them, and the songs didn't fit, then we'd have one. But there might be a few laying around. But it was tough, man. I mean, we literally had to suck it up, man, and get in there and just play for him and play for each other and play for the record, play for the fans. They were going to want to hear this. We needed to, we were obligated. It was unwritten. It was something we had to do, and it was tough. And we're still devastated about it. It's not something that we can ever recover from, I don't think. I mean, I think about the future, and to be honest with you, I don't know how we are going to be able to do it. I mean, he was, and I'm not trying to take any kind of credit here, but he was my partner writing.
Yeah.
Everything that I did bounced off of him, and then he bounced off to me. And so, and it's not just on a musical level either. It's more of a emotional level, like my love affair for trying to continue without him has been crippled. You know what I mean? It's like losing, your wife or your husband or someone that's just irreplaceable. It's like, how do you do that? I mean, people go on and they do, but usually they find light at the end of the tunnel through another door. You know what I mean? Like with Vince, it was hard for Vince to continue without his brother, but he found light at the end of our door.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, we're kind of faced with that,
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. I mean, I can't imagine, but I can imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you think once things kind of, come back around, do you think you will reschedule the tour?
I mean, that's the plan. That's the hope, but everything is just so, I mean, everything is just such in the air right now. When you hear, statements that shows will not go back until the end of next year, or a lot can happen between now and then.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so I would say that you're more likely to see a live stream before you'll see us on the stage.
That's fair.
And I think that we'll just take it day by day, and month by month or year by year. Who knows, right?
Let's hope it's not year by year.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think this whole country and everything, the world is jacked right now. I mean, it's unbelievable the shit that's going on. But we got a rough road ahead of us in a few months. So we'll see what happens, man. Because everything is just so uncertain right now.
It is. It is. But we're all crossing our fingers.
Definitely.
The album is amazing.
Thank you.
I really hope that we get to see you guys here in person soon.
I hope so too, man. We'd love playing down there. The last time we played, it was so much fun. I remember, I think our bus broke down on the way there, and we had to. I mean, we were literally like 18 miles outside of the location, and it was like something stupid too. It was like like a vacuum hose or something,
Yeah.
And so we made it there, but gosh, man, it was so much fun. It always is.
Good. Well, there's your reason to come back, if nothing else.
That's right.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it so very much. Stay safe out there. And we hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you so much. You all be safe. Take care. Stay safe and sound. All right.
All right. Will do.
All right. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.